guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela, and welcome back to my series, ABCs of Tarot. We are on letter F today, as in Frank. And the whole premise of this is because I haven't done a deck collection since I started my tarot journey, and that was like 4 years ago, and I've got a lot more decks since then, and the only way my Virgo brain could do this kind of video is if I categorize them through the alphabet. So here we go. I have 7 decks. Yes, 7 decks. And I got a coffee sitting here because it's early in the morning. And there's no rhyme or reason to these. There's no specific order I'm doing these in. I'm just showing you decks, and I like that I'm doing them this way alphabetically because, for one, I find that most of the categories I have very few decks, so I can sit and talk about them more if I need to without feeling rushed through the video, like I do normally. So, without further ado, here we go. So, the first one I have is Karen Marie Moning's Fever Tarot. I've talked about this deck before. Karen Marie Moning is one of my favorite authors, like paranormal romance authors. This is an independent deck. It's designed by M. Suarez. You open it up, and there's these humongous cards in here. I don't know if I can even zoom out anymore to show you how huge these cards are. Like, they're bigger than the palm of my hand. And I got and then I got a couple stickers and magnets with it. That's where you can get this deck. There's an intro card. These are the backs. It says Fever Tarot, so it is reversible, it looks like. I never paid attention to that because I don't really care about backs. But the cardstock quality is amazing. They shuffle actually really well for huge cards. But yeah, this is the backs. And then here's the front. And it's a very dark deck. If you read the series, you would know it's going to be dark. And I think it's cool because a lot of the images that I see in this, because the series of books takes place in the dirty streets of Dublin. And I see images like this, and it's exactly what I pictured when I was reading the books years ago. I read these books years ago. And so I think that's cool that it brought out some of the imagination that I had pictured in the books in these images. And I think that's really cool. Look at that. It's the moon card. That's stunning. Stunning. It's quite dark deck. Got a dragon in the sky there. So cool. The series of books is based on the premise of there's a girl, her twin sister gets killed in Dublin. She winds up going over there. She's an American, lives in California. Winds up going over to Dublin and finding out she's some kind of mystical, magical princess of something. And she realizes the Fae world and our world is kind of bleeding into each other. Like the Fae world is kind of collapsing in. And other beings are coming in that are not so great. And it's awesome. It's an awesome series. I love it. There's actually a second series. She started with the young girl, that is in this first series. There's a young girl, sidekick girl that she winds up getting. And then she's got her own series now. So I think the books are pretty cool. The deck is pretty cool. Of course, it's a novelty deck. I don't know that I would ever use it. I can't ruffle shuffle because they're so huge. But, I think I would use this more for Halloween than anything, but it's a gorgeous, gorgeous deck. And I think I just bought it because I was so excited to have something tangible other than her books, pictures of what I had imagined in the deck. Lost the lid. Okay, on to deck 2. we have the Don Miguel Ruiz, the Four Agreements. I found this deck, cute little deck. I don't like the box because it's not magnetic. So if you do this, the cards are going to fall out. And in fact, when I pulled it off the shelf, some of these cards had fallen out. But it's a little square deck. I bought the deck. I think the deck was $10 on Amazon. And then you can buy a bigger book, which, hold on a second. Okay, and here's the book. I think I paid $5 for this on Amazon, but it's a pretty good size book for this deck. It's pretty cool. You don't really need the book because there's quotes on one side and then little things on the other. And I just think it was a cute little deck. And when I first started my tarot practice, I'm like, oh, I need something like this. It's kind of like affirmation cards. And I thought it was cool that it was square. And there's 4 different agreements here. If you notice, there's different color bands. It's for the different agreements. There's 4 different ones. This deck is cute. I haven't used it in a while. And I actually have another deck, which you'll see later on in the alphabet. Similar to this. So I have 2 of these kind of affirmation kind of decks. And you know what? I should take this one or that one to work. And I think the reason I bought them was to have them at work. So people aren't intimidated because they're not tarot. And they can see these cute little, these are totally like what you would see as an affirmation deck for a place of work or something next to my computer or whatever. But it's super cute. Let's pull the cards real quick. I don't remember how I shuffled these. Probably like this. Okay, let's go. Spark with integrity. Be impeccable with your word. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. I love that. Love that. I mean, sometimes we can be even down on ourselves, so it's telling us don't even speak badly about yourself. So that was the Don Miguel Ruiz, the Four Agreements. I think this is it's a Hay House deck. Next, we have, it's an independent deck. I got about, I guess only 2 of these are independent decks. This is the Forest Limited Edition Forest Creatures Tarot. I actually ripped it the second I got it. This box is really, for a tuck box, it's like a velvety. And it's actually held up pretty well because I used this deck a lot when I first got it. It comes with a tiny, tiny book that does me no good because I cannot read that because it's super tiny. But these are the backs, and they're pretty large cards for a tarot deck. They're actually bigger than normal tarot size. And I should have probably grabbed a regular size tarot deck to show you the differences, but oh well. It says limited edition here. There is a couple different editions. This is the only one. If you want this specific deck, you have to make sure it says limited edition because it's the only one like this. There's a first and second edition that are, half the cards are different. So if you want this specific deck, you're going to have to go with limited edition. And then there's actually a mini of this deck as well that's more, I think it's a tad smaller than a regular tarot size. But I got the large cards because the second I saw this deck, I think a year ago on Tarot Oracle's channel, I was like, I need this deck. It's so freaking beautiful. And the cardstock is like velvet. It's awesome. And this is by Taroko Studios, which I got off Etsy. They have they're on Etsy. Looks like this. The Revival Art Tarot, which is their deck as well. That's on my list to get. And then there's another one they have that looks like it's from the 20s. It is really cool looking that I want. I just can't afford any major decks right now. So, yeah. 8 of Swords. I love the detail in here. Like the mushrooms. The Hermit in this deck is stunning. Look at that. And I think the High Priestess, yeah, is stunning in this deck. This is I love the Sun card. Yeah, there's the High Priestess. That's stunning with the moon and all the flowers. It's just gorgeous. And yes, they're very pretty. They're very all one size. I don't care. The second I saw this deck, I'm like, sometimes you just need pretty in your life. And this is that pretty deck for me. Plus, I feel like I love this Chariot. Love it. In my mind, if I stumble into another world full of fairies, this is it. They're all going to be these cute little, pretty little creatures. And that's what I see in this deck. Look at this Hermit, too, with the flowers and the mushrooms. I'm a sucker for mushrooms in a deck. So, stunning. It's a stunning, stunning, stunning deck. It has these, like, fancy micro border things, but I don't even pay attention to them. But it just makes the deck even more fancy than it already is. But it's a fancy deck, and I love it. And someday I will get the Revival Art Tarot and the other one. I can't remember the name of the other one, but I always see it, and I always crack up when I see it because I'm like, I want this deck. But they're like $64 a piece, and I'm not made of money, so. But yeah, that is the Forest Limited Edition Forest Creatures Tarot. Next we have the Friends Tarot cards. I got this on Amazon for $15. Cardstock sucks. I mean, they can shuffle, and there's a little instruction card with it. I mean, I can almost not get my hands around there. I mean, they shuffle pretty good. I just don't like the tactile feel of the cards. I love the backs with the frame. I've talked about this deck recently, especially with this card and this card. You would think this is some fun, kitschy little tarot deck, but I've seen every episode of Friends a million times. I have all the episodes. I have all the outtakes. I have all of the deleted scenes. Everything to do with Friends, I have a collection of. I have all the books that came out on it. Everything. And looking at this tarot deck, you would think, oh, it's just cute, fun. It's smart, though. In so many ways, it's smart. And I love it for that. Like, I love the deck regardless. I would have had this deck. Smell the fart acting. Just like, really? Yeah. It's smart. There's little details in there of things that you're like, oh, yeah. Or things that you forgot about, like scenes that you forgot about in the show that is reminding you in this deck, which I think is cool. I love that they're all the Three of Cups. Phoebe is the Sun card, which you can't get any better than that. The Tower, that's cool. I was looking for her, but Joey's the Devil. The Chariot, I love her card, her taxi's the Chariot. It's so fitting. It's just a beautiful little deck, and if you love Friends, this needs to be in your collection of memorabilia of Friends. And I can't get it back in the box. Okay, it's back in the box. It's like a little flip box, but that's a hard box, though. It's not a tote box. Okay, we have 3 decks left. Ferenc Pinter Tarot. I've talked about this so much. I feel like it's a Low Scare Barrel publication. I got it on, actually I bought it at my local metaphysical store, but you can get this on Amazon. The text is by Charles Harrington. The artwork is Ferenc Pinter. And on the back, it says Carpe Diem F. Pinter, which they're not reversible, clearly, because they actually say his name on there. They are the typical thicker 2-part box Low Scare Barrel card set. I've said before, if you get a 2-part box, it's the same throughout their Low Scare Barrel has a 2-part box, which is the cardstock is always the same, and it's a little bit bigger cards. And then if you get the tech box, their cardstock is the same with thinner cardstock and their smaller cards. But I saw this deck, forgot about it, went to my local metaphysical store, saw it, and I'm like, I think this is the deck I said I wanted to add to my list. So I bought it, not remembering if it was or not, and in fact it was. And I got it home and could not put this deck down. It triggered a lot of dark stuff for me, which immediately made it a darker shadow work deck for me. This Chariot, I've talked about it so many times. Chariot is my soul card. And, yeah, last year was my Chariot year, and it's the year I bought this deck. And this card summed up what I felt in that year, where I felt like my feet got caught in the reins, and the Chariot was literally on a runaway train, dragging me along through the whole year. And that's the way I felt last year, all year long, until about the beginning of December. The energy started to shift. And then when I saw this card, I bought this deck for my birthday. On my birthday, I saw this card and almost started bawling, because I'm like, the utter chaos I feel in this card, because the horse is completely broken apart from the rest of the carriage. It's to me utter chaos, and I can't handle chaos. I can handle a lot of things. I can handle a lot of balls juggling in the air, but that card just did a whole number on me, and I'm like, what is happening? Like, why am I like? And there's so many other cards in this deck that triggered that shadow work that needed to be done that I didn't realize I was ready for. Because you're never. To me, it only appears when you're ready for it, mentally, and physically and emotionally ready for it. It didn't feel like I was ready for it at the time, but it helped with a lot of stuff that needed to be dealt with. So that is my Ferric Pinter Tarot. I love this deck. It is one of my probably top 10 decks ever. I love it. 2 left. So the Fairy Oracle. This is Arthur Rackham and Jamie Elford. Low Scarebarrow Oracle. And I'm pretty sure I get them confused. But I think it's the Rackham Tarot. It may be the John Bower Tarot that's on its way to me from somebody that decided they didn't want it. I can't remember. But the backs are gorgeous here. But I saw either way, if they're not sending me the Rackham Tarot and it's the John Bower Tarot, I will be getting at some point the Rackham Tarot because of this deck. Because it is so freaking beautiful that I'm just like, I need all things Rackham. It's stunning. I love the artwork. Love it. And I have seen the Rackham Tarot. There are some cards in here that is in the tarot. I don't know why. It's very whimsical, very fantastical, but dark at the same time. And I love it for that. Love it, love it, love it for that. Because I'm all about dark fairies and dark things all the time. So that is the Fairy Oracle, and I've talked and talked and talked, and I'm almost out of time. Last deck, Fyodor Pavlov Tarot by US Games. This is one of my newer decks. It is stunning. Hardback book. Gilded cards. They shuffle like amazing. They feel like velvet, and I can shuffle them like this. Amazing. This is a stunning deck. If you haven't checked this out, do so. That's all I can tell you. It's amazing. This Queen of Cups just keeps coming up for me. It came up a lot in this deck, and then now it's coming up in other decks as well. And it's the only Queen of Cups I have that's pregnant. So I find that very interesting. But yeah, I love this deck. Love it. And I'm going through because I'm going to run out of time. Because I talk too much. But I love everything about this deck. I've used it. It's already got a bow. And I just got it like November. It's already got kind of a bow going on. And it started to fray already right there. The rest of the gilding is holding up pretty well. And then I'm in love with the hardback book. It's just stunning. So yeah, that is on my F decks. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe and don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And y'all have a good night. Bye.